The house was too quiet, the kind of silence that presses against your chest and makes every creak of the floorboards sound like a gunshot. I stood in the kitchen, staring at the coffee mug she'd left on the counter. Her favorite, the one with the chipped handle and the faded daisies. It was half full, cold now, lipstick smudged on the rim like a mocking signature. My hands trembled as I gripped the edge of the sink, the weight of what I'd just learned sinking deeper into my gut. Her phone, carelessly left on the couch, had buzzed with a message that wasn't meant for me. A single glance at the screen, and my world cracked open. Last night was incredible. When can I see you again? I'm not sure how long I stood there, the words burning into my mind like acid. My name is Ethan, and for 7 years I thought I knew my wife Claire. I thought I knew the way her laugh could light up a room, the way she'd hum off-key while cooking pasta, the way she'd curl into me on the couch during thunderstorms. But now, all those memories felt like lies, each one a splinter lodged in my heart. I didn't scream or throw things. I didn't call her, didn't demand answers. Instead, I did what I always do when the world feels too heavy. I moved. Silently, methodically, I walked upstairs to our bedroom and started packing her bags. The bedroom smelled like her, lavender lotion and that faint citrus perfume she wore every day. Her clothes hung neatly in the closet, a row of dresses and blouses that I'd complimented 100 times. I pulled them down one by one, folding them with care I didn't feel. Each piece was a memory. The red dress she wore to our anniversary dinner, the sweater she stole from me on our first winter together. My hands shook as I zipped up the first suitcase, the sound loud in the suffocating quiet. I didn't know what I was doing, not really. Was this for her, or for me? All I knew was that I couldn't breathe in this house with her lies hanging in the air. Claire wasn't home. She'd texted earlier, saying she was caught up at work. That was her excuse lately, the one she tossed out whenever she was late or distant. I'd believed her, because I wanted to. Because trusting her was easier than facing the truth. But the message on her phone, from someone named Ryan, had shattered that trust like glass. I didn't read more than that first line. I didn't need to. The words were enough to confirm the suspicions I'd buried for months. The late nights, the guarded phone. The way her eyes wouldn't meet mine when I asked how her day was. I sat on the edge of our bed, the second suitcase half-packed beside me. My chest ached, a dull, throbbing pain that spread to my throat. I wanted to cry, but the tears wouldn't come. Instead, I felt hollow, like someone had carved out everything that made me me. 7 years of marriage, 10 years together, and it all came down to this, a stranger's name glowing on a screen. I thought about the life we'd built. The house we'd saved for, the vacations we'd planned, the late-night talks about kids and growing old together. Had any of it been real? The front door clicked open downstairs and my heart lurched. Her voice called out, bright and casual, like nothing was wrong. "Ethan? You home?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. My throat was too tight, my hands too busy clenching the edge of the mattress. Her footsteps echoed on the stairs, light and familiar, and I hated how much I still loved the sound. When she appeared in the doorway, her smile faltered. She saw the suitcases, the clothes spilling out, the open closet. Her eyes widened, and for a moment, she looked like the Claire I'd fallen in love with, wide-eyed, vulnerable. The woman who'd cried in my arms when her dad passed away. "Ethan, what's going on?" Her voice was soft, but there was an edge to it, a wariness that hadn't been there before. I stood, my legs unsteady. "I saw the message, Claire." My voice was quieter than I expected, steady but raw. "From Ryan." Her face changed then, like a mask slipping. The color drained from her cheeks, and her mouth opened, but no words came out. She took a step back, her hand gripping the doorframe. "Ethan, don't." I cut her off sharper than I meant to. "Don't lie to me. Not now." She stared at me, her eyes glistening with tears that didn't fall. "It's not what you think," she said finally, her voice trembling. "It was a mistake. A stupid, stupid mistake." "A mistake?" I laughed, a bitter sound that didn't feel like mine. "You've been lying to me for months. Sneaking around, hiding your phone, telling me it's work. And now it's just a mistake." She flinched, wrapping her arms around herself like she was trying to hold herself together. "I didn't mean for it to happen. It just did. I was lonely, Ethan. You've been so distant, always working, always stressed. I felt like I was losing you. The words hit like a slap. So this is my fault. I stepped closer, my voice rising despite myself. You cheated because I was working to keep this house, to keep us going? You're blaming me for your lies. I'm not blaming you, she cried, tears spilling now. I'm just saying. I felt alone. Ryan was there and I messed up. I know I did. But I love you, Ethan. I've always loved you. Her words twisted something inside me. A mix of anger and grief so tangled I couldn't tell them apart. You don't love someone and do this, I said, my voice breaking. You don't lie to their face, sleep in their bed, and then go to someone else. That's not love, Claire. She sobbed, covering her face with her hands. I'm so sorry. Please, let's talk about this. We can fix it. I'll do anything. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. I wanted to pull her into my arms, tell her we could start over, rebuild what we'd lost. But every time I looked at her, I saw that message. I saw Ryan's name. The words last night was incredible. I saw her smiling at someone else, touching someone else, sharing pieces of herself that were supposed to be mine. I packed your bags, I said, gesturing to the suitcases. My voice was flat now, empty. You should go. Her head snapped up, her eyes wide with panic. What? Ethan, no. This is our home. You can't just. It's not a home anymore, I interrupted, my voice steady despite the ache in my chest. Not for me. Not after this. She stared at the suitcases, then back at me, her face crumpling. Please, she whispered. Don't do this. I'll end it with him. I'll block his number, It's too late, I said, and the finality of it hit me as hard as it hit her. I can't trust you anymore. I don't even know who you are. She sank to the floor, her sobs filling the room. I wanted to comfort her, to kneel beside her and wipe her tears like I'd done 1,000 times before. But I couldn't. Not this time. Instead, I picked up the suitcases and carried them downstairs, setting them by the front door. The weight of them felt like the weight of our marriage. Heavy, familiar, and now too much to bear. When I came back upstairs, she was still on the floor, her knees pulled to her chest. Where am I supposed to go? She asked, her voice small. I don't know, I said honestly. But you can't stay here. She looked at me then, her eyes searching mine for something. Forgiveness, maybe, or a crack in my resolve. But there was nothing left to give. I felt like a stranger in my own skin. Like the man who'd loved her was gone, replaced by someone harder, colder. I'll always love you, she said, her voice breaking. Even if you hate me. I didn't answer. I couldn't. The words were too heavy, too raw. Instead, I turned and walked out of the room, leaving her there with her tears and her guilt. Downstairs, I sat on the couch, staring at the coffee mug still on the counter. The house was quiet again, but it wasn't the same. It was the kind of quiet that comes after a storm, when everything is broken and still. Hours later, I heard her footsteps on the stairs, slow and hesitant. The front door opened, then closed, and the sound of her car starting echoed in the driveway. I didn't move. I didn't look out the window. I just sat there, the mug in my hands now, the lipstick smudge blurring as my vision swam with tears I hadn't let myself cry until now. The days that followed were a blur of silence and pain. I didn't call her, didn't check her social media, didn't ask mutual friends where she'd gone. I threw myself into work, into fixing the leaky faucet, into anything that kept my hands busy and my mind numb. But at night, when the house was too big and too empty, the memories came back. Her laugh, her touch, the way she'd looked at me on our wedding day. I wondered if she was with Ryan now, if she was happier without me. I wondered if I'd ever feel whole again. One night, I found a note tucked into the pocket of her favorite jacket, one I hadn't packed. It was in her handwriting, dated months ago. Ethan, you're my home. Always. I crumpled it in my fist, my chest tight with a grief I couldn't name. I didn't know if I'd ever forgive her, or if I'd ever forgive myself for letting her go. But as I sat there, alone in the house we'd built together, I knew one thing for certain. I'd survived the betrayal, but I'd never be the same.